Welcome to It All Boils Down to This, the podcast where father and son take the kitchen table arguments and heated discussions from their home directly to yours. Jim and Jack Boyle will explore the world as only they can. We might even let a few guests join the fun. So sit back, choose a side, watch the water temperature rise, and enjoy stimulating generational conversation about sports and life. Welcome to episode 64 of It All Boils Down to This. I'm Jim Boyle in sunny Florida, and that is Jack Boyle in warming Wilmington. Jack, how is the weather up there?
It's 50 degrees, but it feels a lot colder than 50 degrees. I feel like normally when you get like a 50-degree day after a ton of cold days, it feels like it's like 80. Today's one of those 50-degree days where it kind of still feels like it's like 40. I don't know. It's weird.
I think we hit about 75 today. A little breeze. Played at 7 o'clock this morning. I was paired up with two people, and guy got sick, so he left. I had to play by myself, and I was absolutely positively horrible today on the golf course. Not good. It wasn't pretty. Played by myself, limped around the course.
Oh, you're all horrible today. Is that like, what's the
Well, I've
base?
been playing relatively well up the tee, and I've been putting well. But today I just couldn't do anything. I putted well and couldn't do anything right. Hit a really good driver on the drivable hole, and then hit a really good three wood rather as well. But that's it. Hey, but it's spring down here. That means only one thing. It's spring training. We're a little bit north of spring training, but the Red Sox have opened up spring training games. Today was a special day for Mr. Meyer. He went 3 for 3 with a home run, a double, and a home run triple and a single. So what's the vibe right now up in Massachusetts with the Red Sox?
Well, his name's Marcelo. It's WCTV with the baseball
Marcello,
team.
right? I got in trouble with that one. Right?
The vibe, that Marcelo Meyer, that game was great. It was unbelievable. It's like you kind of forgot, like, because he's kind of become the third prospect here for them. At one point, like, he was the golden boy. He was like the generational prospect that they had when they picked him, and he fell in the draft a little bit. It's just he's been hurt, but he kind of reminds you today. It's like if he stays healthy,
Yes.
there's a world where the midseason prospect ranking comes out, and he's the number one prospect in baseball.
There's a possibility, and it's all about health for him. And it's simple. There's talent there. I think they said his upside's Corey Seager, and who wouldn't take Corey Seager as an upside on this Red Sox team?
So I got Corey Seager, and I got someone better than Corey Seager and Roman Anthony, and then I got like this second baseman. What are they all going to be Hall of Famers? Like that?
No,
We're going to win championship.
All you want out of the three of them is be good, above average to above average.
Well, no. Did you see the article Passan wrote?
No.
Passan wrote this. He wrote an article. They're like the best trio of prospects in a generation. So he's basically like, I would like it, like what I just said. We probably should stop talking about the Hall of Fame when no one has a plate appearance yet. And like, I don't love that article from Passan. It puts a ton of pressure on these three, but it's like that's how they're being talked about right now.
Prospects are always prospects until they perform, and it's going to be a struggle. It'll be a struggle for all three of them.
And my point off that is, if you're saying you just hope they're good players, it's like, well, based off the way this is going, you hope one or two of them is a superstar.
You hope one or two.
You almost hope you replace. You almost hope one. You almost basically what no one wants to say and everyone's thinking is you kind of hope Roman Anthony replaces this Mookie hole we had, which is a once in a generation player.
I would say that if I had what I would hope for is at least one of the three competes for an MVP honors over the next 10 years. Yeah. And the other two, I think you're going to hit on two of the three. This is the way I look at it. You're going to hit on two of the three. I think no matter what, the way they scout and do everything now with the analytics and everything else, they don't miss on many prospects up the top 10 prospects. They don't
offensively.
Pitching you do because of the arm injuries, but offensively you don't miss so many prospects. So that's the one good thing here. I'm just impressed with. I've always thought Meyer would be their superstar player because he plays the position where you can have the most impact. But the Anthony kid, he's Anthony. The swing on Anthony is it's just like hot knife through butter kind of.
He's also bigger. He just looks bigger when he's next to Meyer. Like I don't know, but like I'm not talking about height here. I'm talking just about like just size, man.
Right. Yeah. Hey, but it's been good.
He's like 20. He's built like a 30-year-old MLB player. So that's why he's the number one prospect.
And then we talked about this. You and I text back and forth with Bregman coming into camp. Well, the reason you want Bregman is because those three guys are going to say, I want to follow what he does. He's a world champion 2 times over. He's a Gold Glover. He's an MVP, not MVP. He's an all-star. And just his presence in the locker room, I think, elevates their understanding of what the job is and what they have to do.
And it's not like he's a dick or anything. So
Right.
like he went and like Bregman himself went and like made sure he went and spent time with those three, all that. So yeah, I was right about Bregman all along in that signing. That's looked like it's going well. Did you see he was taking ground balls at third with Devers today, speaking Spanish with them? So yeah, that's like half of the contracts for that. Like he's a 4 5 WAR player on the field. Off the field, he's like a 1 or 2
Correct.
WAR player.
The other player that I got a shout out to, and though he aggravates the hell out of me, who's done a good job with the young kids, is having Trevor Story around will help.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But again,
I said that today. This
as
is what I
much as
said.
it pisses me off, I have to say that.
With Trevor Story, though, I was like, I don't like Trevor Story at all. I hate Trevor Story, but like I'm desperate. I would love for him to play 150 games at shortstop. I don't care if he hits 200.
Right.
Like if he plays 150 games at shortstop, he's a plus player. He is.
He
Not
is
for the
what he
money,
is.
but
Yes.
we need that. We haven't had a shortstop in 2 years now.
And his numbers, he's going to strike out a lot, and I don't think that's the way you want him to go. But you can also hide him in the lineup now a little bit.
Yeah.
You can hide him down in the lineup if you have to. The funny part about this whole stuff is Cash is going to, who they're not talking about at all is Durant, who had a great year last year.
Well, the thing with Durant is Durant's not going to have the year he had. I don't think.
Probably won't.
If he
Probably
does, then I'm totally wrong about him, and he's a superstar. But I
And
don't know.
the good news with him is they're putting Rafael in center field, and they're going to move him to left field, and they'll start Abreu right now in right field. Their lineup is solid. Little weak at catcher, but that's the way life works. Connor Wong is not the greatest defensive
Who's
catcher ever.
strong at catcher? There's not many teams.
Not many teams, but and then like I said, the Sox, Bellows hurt, Carter Crawford's hurt, or slow to get a Giolito's coming off the injury. Hendricks is coming off his injury. It'll be interesting to see how the pitching plays out, but like I said, I expect a big year out of Bello, and I expect the two Crochet look good. I expect Crochet and what's his name, the kid they got for the Dodgers, also Bueller, to have a great
Well,
to
it's also a good group of guys. Like it's not like you got like Kenley Jansen here who's like just wants to be in
right.
LA. Like it's an easy group of guys to root for.
It's a likable group, correct. Let's leave it at that as we're hitting the second week of spring training. What is it? March? It's not even March yet. We're still in February 27th, almost over February. But it's been a
Well,
good
there's
start.
snow on the ground in Boston, and I think now you might not be able to see my breath when I breathe. So it's yeah, baseball's not ready to go.
I'm in my short sleeve Wildcat shirt here. I just want to go two other things that are happening in spring training. The robot ump. I know we talked about a little bit of this. I love the robot ump. It just takes all, then the strike zone will always, always, always be consistent. Eventually they're gonna have to you have to replace you have to have ump behind the plate. But it's really the problem I have with the robot ump now, it makes umpires look bad.
Well, yeah,
It makes them
it's is that's not in play this year, right? Is
no,
it?
they're using it in spring training right now, and the challenges are like you get two challenges in 9 innings. And somebody
Is
said
that going to happen in the regular season or no?
no, they're going to do. They'll stay. I don't think they're converting to the robot ump. I just think it's a great idea. I'm all for the robot ump. Like I said last week, I think it'll be interesting to see how players who have played with it, which most minor leaguers coming through the system now will have played with it as they get as you move it into play. So it'll help to even out the strike zone a little bit. It will also make catchers who frame less relevant. And, so who cares that Yachty or Merlina could frame great or that Cal Raleigh can frame great? So it changes the whole dynamic. The other two more things, spring training numbers, especially if we're about to draft fantasy wise. Are they alarming if they're bad, and should you really draft high if they're good? What's your take?
I've looked at spring training numbers. The only spring training number I remember a lot of like facts about sports and like numbers about sports. The only spring training number I remember is like Mookie. You know what? I don't even remember it. It was either his like 2015 when he was coming up for the first time, he went nuts, or it was I think in 2018. No, it was 2015. Mookie hit like 500 in spring training when he was like 20 years old. That's it. No, who cares about spring training stats? You're
Good.
just getting swings.
So therefore, again, Meyer getting the 3 for 3 is just he looked good. That's how we have to look at
Yeah.
it. And then
No, no, no. The thing that's actually a good thing. My point about Mookie is I remember that. The other
Oh,
thing, JBJ had a good spring in 2013. He made the team. Remember that? And he
right.
stunk when he came up. So if you go nuts, I'll remember it. But
Yeah,
if you suck, I
I
won't
agree
remember if
that.
you stink.
I agree that. I couldn't imagine unless one of the three goes absolutely nuts, they're not going to break with the team. And Christian Campbell's probably the only one going to break with the team if he plays well. So
I would
the
like
other
that.
thing I'm just going to throw out there, we're going to talk about later on, is the Dodgerification
I
of
don't care.
rules, which is the salary cap and the salary floor, which is a completely
Whatever.
different
I
idea when the strike. You have not lived through strikes, so another issue where your generation has no idea what can happen when billionaire owners and millionaire players get together and f everything up. So
whatever. There was, I mean, you brag about your strike and all. I would argue that 2020 was a big enough strike. I mean, basically the whole season was canceled.
yeah, but
So
it wasn't
get over it.
it wasn't labor
I
related.
lived the world.
It
It was though. If the first month and the second month were COVID related, and then if you don't think that they wasted 2 months over labor relations, that was 100%. It was all about how much they were going to get paid for what they played. Because the owners, they weren't,
Oh, okay, we'll give you a little bit of credit.
all the broke teams weren't going to get any ticket as
I'll
money.
give you a
Both
little
were great.
credit. You just have no idea how stupid and nasty. And everybody will side with the owners because that's what people do because people are
And
jealous.
also the NBA lockout. I was young.
Yeah, you did that one. That's a good transition to the NBA. We watched. I didn't watch a lot of it. I watched some of the games
With
tonight.
this,
Detroit Pistons. Just I mean, they were held. They were rested. The Celtics were out. Jalen Brown. They look good. They
yeah,
look like
I
they look
respected them so much. I thought they were such. I thought they looked so good out there, and their fans. I don't know. I get it. You beat the Celtics and all. They're acting like they won the championship. This isn't. I'm gonna frame this a little bit weird here. You're like the 4 seed. I don't know why they're acting so weird right now about how we beat the Celtics, blah blah blah, all this. Like they're ripping on us. Like they're the best thing. You're the 4 seed. Like lock in. This is serious. They could take us. They're one of the teams I think could actually beat us twice in a series.
Yeah, because they're young. Again, just like with
They're
Cleveland,
acting like they're like a. They're
right?
acting like they're still like a fifth. They're like, remember that comment Brown made about Pritchard's gonna. We're gonna play through Pritchard when we play the Pistons.
Yeah,
They're going nuts about that. And I get it and all, but it's like we beat you twice already, and Pritchard went bananas on you. And
right.
it's like you're not this like tanking 13th best team in the conference anymore. Like you're the 4th seed. Like you should be coming at us different, Pistons fans. Get some
And
better material than like
God
you're
bless,
acting like you're garbage and you had this fluke win. That was a really tough win from them.
God bless the fans. And Celtics were off on back to back, right? And it's the way the regular
Oh
season
yeah,
played out is kind of strange. But
I'm not freaking out
the
about
other
this.
thing that happened was our boy Luca had a huge game against his old team, and everybody's. I am thinking that we are absolutely right. The trashing that the GM is taking in Dallas is well deserved. I love Anthony Davis, but boy, is he getting not Anthony Davis, I forget the GM's name. He's getting ripped a new one every single day by everybody. Luka's eventually going to flame out though anyway. So that's the NBA. We'll do a lot more NBA as we get close to the playoffs. Um, just one thing came up. I was reading it on ESPN today.
I,
I just
and
want to
I,
bring this up. Huh?
I that trade is so bad.
I
It's
know.
so bad. They literally gave the Lakers. It doesn't. No, it doesn't make sense. I think Adam Silver had something to do with it. Davis was saying people knew for a month. I'm dead serious. I'm not a conspiracy guy. That's one of the weirdest things that's ever happened. It doesn't make any
The
sense. It's
the
been like a month now, or like two
NBA
weeks.
also sometimes the weird things happen with how players get to certain spots. It's kind of weird.
No, 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 nothing's like this.
Wow. Pat Ewing getting drafted number one by Knicks because the envelope was like
I'll
cold to
tell you
the
this right now, and this could be a hot take. And Luka Doncic is on a different level than Pat Ewing as a player. I'm telling you, and especially Pat Ewing was a prospect. No one, he was a huge prospect. He's still coming out of college. He never played an NBA game. Luka's a top
right.
50 NBA player ever right now.
We'll see. Okay, let's go on. I want to go to the next topic of discussion. I read an article today on the I
Oh,
think
that
it
was
was
windy.
Borzello. No, this is the NCAA hoops. And you know what's funny? He gave the 8 teams that he thinks will win. One of these 8 teams will win the championship. All right. And I'm going to read you the 8 teams, and you tell me what's weird about these 8 teams. All right.
They're
See,
going to be ready. I know what you're going to say. They're going to, I don't know anything about college football, but this is how I know how you're
basketball.
thinking. I bet you they're all football teams.
Actually, no, you're wrong.
Oh, damn.
So it's the 8 that they can win: Alabama, Auburn, Duke, Florida, Houston, Iowa State, St. John's, Tennessee. What's unique about that list?
A lot of football teams.
A lot of football teams. You know what's missing from that list?
I wasn't, say it again.
Bama, Auburn, Duke, Florida, Houston, Iowa State, St. John's, Tennessee.
Kansas. I don't know.
No, there's not a Big Ten team on there.
Oh, well.
No Big Ten.
Wow.
You've got Bama, Auburn, Florida, and Tennessee, 4 from the SEC, 1 from the ACC, 1 from the Big East, and Houston and Iowa State from the Big 12,
Who's
whatever.
the last Big Ten team that's won?
I
Is
don't
it
remember. Michigan
is
State,
that great of a conference?
Nah, no, but they're deep. They have the money.
Dude,
What about the money? They got the money.
Everett, you're
Penn
picking
State.
Duke, right? I'm picking Duke. I can't wait. March Madness, I already have my Duke.
I hate to go with this. I'm picking Houston because I think, as much as I despise Sampson,
I picked Houston way too much in like the mid 2010s
Sampson's done
because
it
I
the
was a
right way.
Houston Temple
Sampson's
guy.
cheated.
Oh,
He cheated in the
SMU and them.
cheating. He cheated the cheating era, and he's winning in the non-cheating era. But he plays defense. I like
Fran
Duke.
Dumpy, Fran Dumpy
Duke, I'll tell you,
retired.
yeah, I saw
He
that.
never cheated.
I like Duke as well, but I'm not sold on that coach winning a big game. And St. John's has our boy Ricky Pitino going there. But just I wanted to bring that up. We'll talk as we get as you and I know little of NCAA except for me with Tennessee.
Larry Bird wasn't walking through the door, but Jason Tatum did. So
Right. So where'd that come from?
Rick Pitino.
Oh, that's
It's a
right.
Rick Pitino quote. What do you mean?
Right. He's Larry. Yeah, you're right.
He's complaining. Like, no, if Rick
I
Pitino
get it.
had got Jason Tatum as a 19-year-old, he could still be the coach of the Celtics.
Right. As we go on in the NCAA, I'm going to make it. We'll go through what happens. Like I said, we're not knowledgeable right now because I think the college game has really
I'll
devolved
never
in
be
the
knowledgeable.
transfer portal, and players don't play for more than 1 year at one school, and so. But it'll be interesting to see how these 8 teams, as we progress to the tournament action, which is well, I think the selection Sunday is 2.5 weeks away. We'll see who gets to go. One team that will be going will be my Temple House, and I'll update on Temple at the end of the show. You sent me that an important NFL information. Travis Kelce has decided to return. Big
Yeah.
news out of Kansas City.
I don't know. I thought he would retire, but whatever. I don't know. Play,
You know
make
what? He
money.
didn't. If he was going to retire, he should have retired. He got Taylor Swift, and he won a Super Bowl, and he didn't retire. So I would have
Yeah,
retired.
the thing is about like they got beat so bad that it's all whatever, but they're coming off making the Super Bowl. It's like
Correct.
it's not like they lost in like the wild card and it was like, all right, this is over. It's they didn't make the Super Bowl. And they
Correct.
did like have home field advantage all the way through. They were the number 1 seed. So
They made
who's
the
saying they can't do that next year?
They made
And
the Super Bowl, and they faced a pretty good Eagles team that was well played. Everything was hitting on all cylinders. Their defense was built to stop because, again, the funny part is I'm going to go back and compare him and Brady, Mahomes and Brady. When the Giants beat the Patriots twice, you know why they beat the Patriots twice? Defense, but they got to Brady with a 4-man rush. They didn't have to blitz anybody, so they took away some of his passing lanes by bringing 4. Both times they brought 4, and they controlled the game. Philadelphia did the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. You brought 4 means you can then drop 7 instead of 6 or 5, which makes it a little bit more difficult with the 4. If the 4 can produce pressure, and that's what the Eagles did. The Giants did that to Brady, and with the Eagles game against Brady. But so the 2 times Brady really should have won that he lost to the Giants, it was because they brought pressure with only 4, and the Eagles did the same thing. So God bless the Eagles. It's a shame we don't have Jay Trev around because we're at the NFL Combine world where he is the absolute expert on it. But a lot of weird stuff coming out. There's not really like a quarterback can go number 1. So Tennessee has a lot to make decisions to make. And then what's his name? Abdul Carter now has a foot injury, and they're talking to the Will Campbell, the kid from LSU, who's moving up the charts. Do we expect to see anything out of the combine anymore?
Abdul Carter, that's the only story. I would much rather talk about any like soccer or tennis than the draft combine.
All
I
right.
can't.
Well, let's
That's
go
all I
on.
care about. They said, what's his name could fall to the Patriots there, Hunter. I'd take him at 4.
Oh, if Hunter falls, Patriots got to take him.
Well, it could say it could be the 2 quarterbacks and Carter.
I think if you like the Giants and the Raiders,
Teams are going to trade up and take those 2 quarterbacks are going to get taken in the top 3. They just are. That's how this works.
yeah. You know what though? That means that I think Tennessee's going to trade whoever wants quarterback bad, and
Yeah, that's how this works.
But there are a lot of I don't know. We'll see what happens get closer. Maybe we'll get Jay Trev involved a little bit because he's doing college
Get
stuff.
Hunter, sign the best left tackle on the market. You're good.
And then pick up some more players. Patriots.
Yeah.
They'll need a lot more players.
No, I know, but that's a very good start.
Okay. Boys hockey just won 4-1.
All
So
right.
I was going to bring that up. Wilmington High School, we're going to go through the round robin here. And because that just,
Dude,
88,
we're the worst team ever. I could talk about anything. We're getting
we're going
pushed
to go.
straight to Wilmington boys
We'll get to
hockey.
Manu. We'll get to Manu, but let's
We
go.
just avoided relegation, and
We'll
we're
get to
going to
Manu.
Wilmington boys hockey. We're out of relegation.
On point. We'll get to Manu first. Let's do Wilmington Athletics real quickly because our good friend Dennis Ingram's the AD. My app just posted that the boys hockey was in the first round of the tournament. I think they're seeded. They're the top 10 seed, even though they went 4-16, a lot better because they played great competition. They won their first round game. They went 4 and
You're worse
16,
than us.
and they're seeded like sixth, and they're 4 and 16 because they play all the Division One teams. So they won. The boys hockey team won. Girls hockey team lost last night to Woburn. 2 nights ago, the girls basketball team in a play-in game, they were like 5 and 18. They won a play-in game over Whittier Tech by a ton. They play in the next round, and the boys play tonight as
We
the
got like a 40-minute limit here.
Huh?
We got like a 40-minute limit
Yeah,
here.
I still got 17 minutes left. The boys play tonight in at Linfield as the 17 versus the 15, I think, right?
This is like the Lowell Sun Roundtable
14.
show.
That's what it should be. It should be. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I want to give a
Start
shout out
it.
to kids, all our kids.
I won't be on that.
Two other things. We also have 2 wrestlers going who qualify for the states, Muhammad Saeed and Nick Corsetti. So I want to give them a shout out too. So it's been a pretty good winter season. Coach Ingram, AD Ingram has done a great job. He's going to be he'll be on our live stream when we do our draft or when we do the draft.
There's no live
It all
stream.
boils down to this fantasy draft. He'll be on that one show too. So that's I just want to give a shout out. Baseball season starts 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. You tell me that the snow's still on the ground. That's not good for baseball season to start on time.
That actually was on here. Jesus.
That was what it was.
That was on. So on this itinerary you sent me, I gotta write one next week. That was on there. The draft combine was on there. Travis Kelce was on there, and Temple versus
Oh, Temple wins at the buzzer. Oh, let's not forget that.
Temple at the buzzer,
Shut,
and not anything about like
we'll do that.
soccer.
Jack, we'll get Jack's man.
Things. Liverpool win the league
I always leave that at the end.
20 times.
I was at the end. Temple last night ran the same play they ran in South Florida like 3 times with Zion Stanford trying to go down low and get blocked. He actually catches the block in the air and throws up a prayer, and it goes in, and they win it overtime. Very disappointed in my Temple Owls right now. A lot of injuries happening. Not sold on the coach. I don't think he knows how to actually coach defense. And I think you really need to focus on playing defense if you're going to win the NCAAs. But they won. It was exciting. He made the shot. Zion Stanford's a nice little freshman player. But I did need to give a shout out to my Wilmington High School kids and my Temple Owls. Before we go on to my favorite part of the program, which is Jack yelling and screaming about his stupid team that lives in Manchester, called Manchester United, who actually has
weird. I don't even want to
played
talk
consecutive games. Actually played consecutive games. They played consecutive games where they were down 2-0 to Everton, who we saw them beat 4-0. Came back and tied 2-2. And then they won against was it Ipswich? Who did they just beat? Ipswich. 3-2 on an own goal. They scored. I saw the line. I saw the score, and I said, I don't know who this guy is. The guy for the other team scored a goal for Manchester United. So I make fun of you all the time, and I enjoy watching the game when I'm at the game. I watch the TV. I always said to you, I was joking about relegation, which we know they're not going to relegate it. So take Jack's temperature right now. How do you feel?
No, there's no temperature. It's just like it's just hard. It just sucks. It sucks. It's a horrible situation that we're in. Everything about the club's just rotten. It's a bad environment, but I don't know. I was getting all emotional about Bruno last week. He just dragged us out of these 2 games here. I don't know. I don't understand why anyone would say. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Man United. I know I said I wanted to. I'd like to talk about some soccer, but we can't do that. It's a very sad situation. It's a very sad situation that my football club is in. And I don't like all the outside noise and all the criticism and like the players, there's some of them who gotta go, and they've had the goalkeeper sucks, Dallo, I can't keep watching, but there's a decent amount of them, or a few at least. They're not good enough, but they're trying their hardest. And just the criticism where it comes from the ex-players, Man United, it's too much. It's a sad situation that the club is in.
I understand that. I feel bad.
We'll get out of it.
So Liverpool is dominating, right? Liverpool's going to win.
Yeah, they're going to win the 20th league title. That'll match us. They're at 19.
That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. I'm telling you, that's gotta hurt.
Well, so when Ferguson took over in I think 86 or whenever it was, Liverpool had like 16 titles and we had like 7. And
Okay,
Ferguson
okay.
left and Liverpool had like 18 and we had 20.
So now since 2012 you have 0, they have 2. That's like the Yankees and the Red Sox bullshit everybody goes over. So
Well, it's closer than
the other
that.
thing happened in soccer yesterday,
They're
last
gonna tie us.
last
20 times.
night, Japan women beat the U.S. women in a whatever the cup was. First time we lost the cup. First time the coach, who has done a great job, her first loss as the coach of the United States women's team. But she said she's got still things to learn, but they did lose in soccer. MLS is in full swing now, right? They can start up shortly. It's in the cold weather.
MLS, who cares? MLS has been like playing. I've seen Messi
Why?
playing
So,
and
so let me
scoring.
ask you a
I don't know.
question.
Messi's so good. And Arsenal suck. Can I just say that? Arsenal are
Okay,
horrible. They're a
Kevin.
disgrace to second. Finish second place every year. Talk your garbage. You guys are useless.
When Kevin,
What a
when Kevin,
waste of a title challenger. You know, I didn't get paid. I rooted for them this year. Beat Liverpool for me. Do it. Stop
Kevin,
them.
it took him 24 minutes, 25 minutes to tell you that Arsenal sucks, which is awesome. What else you got me in sports world? Your boy got beat. I know that, right? Alcaraz, he
We
lost.
talked about that the last time. No, I
He
don't know.
play
We're going
again.
to Puerto
Oh,
Rico.
kid shot a
Might be
59.
on the flight.
Some kid shot a 59 on the tour today down in Florida.
That's good for him. That's a right
Get
to
his
score.
name here. I don't see it on here.
Whatever. 59, that's good. What's like second place? Is he like is he 8 shots ahead or is he like 4?
I will get you that. Keep on talking. I'll get you that right now as we look at PGA.
What do you want me to talk about? Oh,
I don't know.
Arsenal.
He
I'm
shot a
so sick
12
of that
under,
team.
and Daniel Berger is Jason M. Daniel Berger was 8
How
on.
about the Glazers?
He's 4 shots. You know what I want to talk about? I just saw this is the MLB and ESPN divorcing after ESPN had all the Sunday Night Baseball and all the crap talk behind the scenes on both of them. Why are they leaving? And that's important information. ESPN, I think that MLB was pissed at ESPN. I think MLB said, you don't do enough on your other channels to satisfy us. So we're going to go to Amazon and Netflix and all these other places. And ESPN said, go see you later, like that. So another thing. Greg
They
Popovich.
were that's actually kind of does suck because Joe Buck was coming back to baseball and he's probably like the most notable baseball voice there is alive
Correct.
right now.
Correct.
So that was gonna be that, and he'll have 1 year doing it, and then it's back
Correct.
away.
Right. And then the final thing, just before I talk about the last thing on my list, Greg Popovich is not going to coach the rest of the year. Wemby is not going to play the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Do you think
Well,
Popovich?
Popovich is not going to coach ever again.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think
Obvious.
Pop ever comes back?
No, I don't know why he should just retire or do whatever he can do whatever he
Why do you
wants.
want to retire when you have a franchise player like Wemby though?
Isn't he like what does
He's like
I don't
my
know? Doesn't he have like massive? Didn't he have
he
a
has massive
stroke?
health issues, yes.
Well, that's why. Okay, there's your answer.
But that doesn't stop people from coaching.
Having stroke when you're 75, when he's like the oldest coach, 70, and he has a stroke. When's the last?
True.
Obviously,
So
that stops people from coaching.
I think it's a shame. It's that again. There's another issue where you got to hire. They hired a coach who. Why are we hiring this guy? He's the GM and he coaches.
My guy Sam Cassell's going there. Did
Yeah,
he play there? I don't know. No, that's
he
just I
played in
just started.
Texas. Cassell played in Houston rather.
Houston. I know that. Yeah, but if he ever played for Pop,
He might. Sam Cassell played like just about everywhere except for Temple because he stiffed
Okay, that's my name
Danny.
to watch. No, you know who could go there? Dan Hurley.
Yeah. And you know who wasn't on the list? Dan Hurley.
Well, they're saying JJ Redick, coach of the year. You know how offensive that would be? Like, again, like you hate like JJ Redick, all this is he just is like he's a poor man, he's a knockoff of Joe Mazzulla.
So JJ Redick not one
he gets Luka Doncic. He gets Luka
Stop.
Doncic, and now he's the coach of the year.
Who's the coach?
And Missoula and all the other
Easy.
great coaches are punished by having superstars.
Don't give me that shit. This is easy.
Coach of the year? The Pistons or
no. Who's
the two Cavs coaches? The guy coaching the Pistons, the Cavs coach,
right,
and the Cavs coach.
Right.
So the two guys who coach the Cavs.
Those are the two guys up.
That's right.
Those are the two guys that are up for the.
And you know who else I would say? OKC's coach, the guy from Boston, because he's got one of the best teams. And Missoula got F last year. Like, I'm not going to.
Missoula's not going to ever win it.
Being great. I understand that.
I'm saying I'm never going to win it.
Correct. Correct.
So it works. It's just the way the system works. if you, yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know.
No, but that's the thing. It's like Tatum said that last year. It's like we're a super team, but we don't get treated like one. That's like I was the only All NBA player. That was our only award. We won
That's
it. We were
correct.
a super team, won the title.
That's
So don't
correct.
call us a super team then. That's my issue with it. It's like pick your pick you can't.
Pick
I
your
don't know.
pleasure.
It's
Pick your,
yeah.
pick your pleasure.
I
All
was
right.
gonna say you can't make your cake and eat it too.
Right. Have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah,
Something like that.
whatever
Well,
the
that's
phrase is. You
somebody's
know,
right.
we're idiots. I
That
don't
was
know.
That was
But
Marie
that's the
Antoinette in
thing.
France. No, you can't. No, no. Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." That was in French.
Whatever. You have to pick a lane.
You can't
Either
have your
super
cake and eat
team,
it too.
we're a super team, and Tatum's the top 4-3 player,
All we
and
can do.
Jalen Brown's great, and Porzingis is great, and all this, and Missoula's a great coach, or we're not. So
This is
pick
why,
your lane.
you know what, Jack? I have to say this. This is why we have to have my list because we can't have a free for all because we go down all sorts of weird
This
routes.
was a great free for all, though.
It
It's
was. I mean, we talked about Marie Antoinette and cake and stuff like that.
you did.
You know what? I rode Guardians of the Galaxy at Disney World, and they were talking about cake, and the dude, the weird dude, the big bald-headed guy, Guardian guy, he was eating cake. And then I rode the other ride, the new ride, which is I forget what it's called. It was good. But Disney, I've had enough of that. I'm ready. And my golf game sucked today, so that's the way life works. A final thing, I know that we are doing fantasy league, it's fantasy dynasty league. Um, and it's
Well,
a
I'm gonna postpone because it got dark, so I'll do it tomorrow
Jack is
night.
going to do the draw for the minor league draft, which will be after our major league draft, which will be 31 players, 10 teams, 30 players. Shout out to all my cohorts who are playing that. Five of
The
the
first draw,
first
the
went really well.
actual draft draw is like our most viewed video.
Because yeah, we're gonna put it. We shouldn't do it right now because I should watch it. You know what? When you're ready to do it, I'll do it with you. We'll do it somehow and we'll figure it out. But shout out to our fantasy league. We draft on the 23rd, right? What are you looking at? You know, what are you looking
You
at?
know what? We'll do it. We'll do it.
Okay, we're gonna do it. We only have 7 minutes left, so let's go. As Jack takes up. So our participants in the draft, right? We have Jay Trev, Justin Trevisani. We have Chris Greco. We have Riley Zaya. We have John Sears. We have Kevin O'Donnell. We have Jack Boyle. All six of those kids I coached. Of course, we have me. And then we have the two friends of Chris, who Jack calls the Sack Fly guys, who are there over there, their own team. I have their names somewhere. I really should be saying their names. Then we have PT Pat Taylor and previously mentioned Dennis Ingram, who's the AD at Wilmington High School. Pat Taylor is a teacher at Wilmington Middle School with Chris Greco. Jack's got it ready to go. He's put it in
All
the
right.
in the
All
pop.
right, the market basketball got a bunch of criticism last
All
time. I
right,
don't
so
know why.
Jack is back. I'm gonna have
I
to
thought that
edit
was
him
great
out.
great for the league.
But Jack's back in the house. I'm still outside. We
All
have
right, so what we're
okay.
gonna
Let's
do
go.
here?
Can I?
Enough. You're just a spectator. So
No, I
what
want
we're
to
gonna
read the
do
names.
here? No, you're not gonna do anything. You're a spectator.
So
So what
this
we're
is
gonna do here?
oh,
You're a spectator. What we're gonna do here? I'll stop this podcast right now. What we're gonna do here is we have all the names like we did last night, except me, you here, and Kevin are added to it.
okay.
And we're gonna pick our prospect minor league draft. And we agreed it's going to be 4 rounds, so you're going to get 4 minor leaguers here. They're going to go to your minor league team. Read the manifesto if you really want to learn more about
And
this.
so Jack,
What
going in
we're going to
descending order, right? This will be picked
spectator. Yes, descending order. So we're going to go. Whoever gets picked first has the last pick in the first round. You're
Okay,
picking
10.
last if you do get the first pick. So I can't see. Look, if you want to look at how it looks in the bowl, I can't see anything. I'm going to shuffle it up. Nothing can be seen.
This is so exciting to be a spectator of this. If I come out first, I'm quitting.
Coming. Okay, picking 10. Jim! Yeah.
I got screwed. I got
All right.
screwed.
Picking 9. That's awesome. That is
Oh,
awesome.
I'm picking first.
Picking 9th in both drafts. Jonathan Sears. Picking 8th. After wanting all these minor leaguers, Chris Greco will be picking 8th. Picking 7th. Sack Fly Guys! Sack Fly Guys will be picking 7th.
And we will have names for the Sack Fly guys eventually.
This is going to be so fishy. Everyone's going to be all mad if I get the first pick. Ooh.
He picked 2. You cheated.
I know. I'm redoing it.
Redo it. Don't cheat.
Hold up. So let me just make sure all the names there's no way I can cheat. I'm going to make sure everything, because it kind of got a bit tangled up. So let's make sure
Maybe
every
I
name
should, maybe I should pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Should have given me
No.
names so I
So
can
you
pick.
can see that I'm not looking at
All
it
right,
while I
so
pull 'em
take
up.
Jack next. Is this the fifth pick?
Is it fifth? Yeah, fifth. With the fifth pick, the
Jack.
man who is picking the first in our other draft, or fourth,
Riley
Riley.
Zaya. All right, Riles. This is
All
rigged.
right.
Kevin's getting number
Fourth.
one.
Picking fourth. So you know I'm not rigging it.
Jack.
Yeah.
How can Kevin get a higher pick than you and
Yeah,
me?
this sucks if I
I
get
think I'm
Kevin
going to
third.
protest.
Here we go. Picking, what is this?
Ingram is
Third.
the luckiest guy I ever met.
Did we even write this down? We'll remember. Ingram.
Yeah, third. So who's left?
Dude, this is second. PT, who's
And-
picking second in the other drafting.
And Jay
Kevin.
Trev.
Oh. Okay, so we're just a pick off. We're gonna have to look back at this and see the order.
Yeah, I will. Well, Jay Trev, PT, and Kevin are left.
Picking third, then.
Kevin.
Thank God, Kevin.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It's not like you're getting like.
I know.
It's not like you get Roman Anthony because of this, because Roman Anthony is eligible in the other draft. All right, so it's PT and J Trev. Who will have the second pick? This will be Justin. PT with the first pick. PT got the second pick and the first pick.
And
unbelievable.
And I got the 10th pick and the 10th pick.
Yeah, okay. Well, you got the first pick then.
Hey, all right. Hey, listen, that's our draft. I can cut this in for you, Jack. I'll send you the
Yeah, just cut it out. Yeah, and post. If you can cut this out and just post this.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll do that quick tonight after dinner. We're having salmon night. All right. So for my good friend there, Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle.
I wanted that first pick just for the controversy. Okay. Like because people would be so mad if I got the first pick.
You want to know something about this? It's hard to finish the show with Jack because he keeps on talking. All right. Go.
Fine. You want me? You tell me.
Don't leave yet.
Yeah.
Don't leave yet.
You say don't
for
leave.
Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. Episode 64, All Boils Down to This, is over, and we'll see you on down the road. Thanks for listening to this episode of It All Boils Down to This. We're always open to any ideas, critiques, topics, and guests. So if anyone out there in podcast world needs to get a hold of us, we can be reached via email at jboyle22@comcast.net. Along with Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. Make sure to tune in to the next edition of It All Boils Down to This.